September 10th, 2020. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 217 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Well, Mike, I guess football season is upon us, or at least
Yes.
NFL football.
Thursday night.
Yeah, so it's going forward with no fans. We'll see if it lasts the entire season.
Right. I'm curious to see how that goes. It'll be a good test. And college football starts too.
Some of it, yeah. The teams that have decided to play.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I made a note last year. We talked about, hey, before the football season, let's talk about football pools. And we haven't, mainly because who knows what this football season is going to be like. And, you know, I'd hate to go through that whole process of talking about different pools and then the season doesn't go on. So we might save all the football pool information till next season when hopefully things are more normal. But if you'd like some information about pools that you could run, we'd recommend going back and listening to an episode from this year on March 12th, 2020, episode 204, where we had Vinny Chens from the 7 Out podcast on. And we talked about all sorts of different kind of pools that you can do for March Madness. And a lot of those pools will carry over to football as well.
Right.
Not all of them necessarily, but you'll get an idea of a lot of the different kind of pools that you can run, at least for football season if you're interested. So then maybe next season when things are back to normal, we'll go through a bunch of different ones. Yeah.
Maybe if you have time this week while you're on your second honeymoon, you can put up scenarios of different football pools you could run depending on how many weeks the season goes.
Okay,
so plan out if it's like a 3-week season, what a football pool would be like, a 4-week season.
Right. And
do all that and then give it to us on the next podcast.
Okay. Well, so what Mike's alluding to there, we're actually recording a little early this episode because, yes, my wife and I are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary coming up, so we're going out of town. So we had to record a little bit early. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
The only thing I've done for 25 years straight is eat.
And play craps, I think, too, Mike. I'll have to say that. Eat and play craps.
Eat and play craps.
But yeah, 25 years. It was quite a run. Quite a run. I think that'll do it, though.
You think it's over?
Yeah, I think 25 is pretty good. I think we just look at each other and, hey, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, just sign a new contract.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Re-up for another.
We'll negotiate.
Yeah, re-up for another 25.
Got a lot of negotiations to go through. Yeah. Hey, Eric Rosenthal pointed us to a Travel Zork article by Daryl McEwen, who runs the 7 Stars Insider website. A lot of good information there. That the Caesars Great Gift Wrap-Up is now nationwide. Previously, you could only earn points through casinos kind of here on the western part of the United States. The idea that they were going to get people to come to Las Vegas.
Right.
And you couldn't earn points, say, at Atlantic City casinos, that kind of thing. But I guess for this year, I think maybe it started July 1st. Now you can earn points at all the casinos in the United States. In fact, in Canada, too, that are Caesars owned.
Oh, that's nice. Well, then it'll be a bigger gift wrap-up. There'll be more people coming.
Maybe. I mean, again, it's maybe that's why they're doing it is because fewer people are coming to Las Vegas.
Depending on how well people think about flying.
Yeah. So it'll depend. I don't know if that was the catalyst for it, but anyway, so that's good news.
Yeah. Just today, speaking of flying, driving to work this morning, I was listening to somebody and they were talking about travel industry. Mm-hmm. They predicted for 2020, the revenue would be half of what it was in 2019.
Yeah.
And they thought that it wouldn't get back to 2019 levels until 2025.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's significant.
Oh, yeah.
That's significant. And that was just based on number of people that will be traveling.
Yeah.
So
that'll affect prices. Maybe it'll be good for the consumer. At the same time, people will be losing jobs.
Right.
Who knows what the overall effect is going to be by
That's
by
a huge industry.
Oh, yeah.
Huge
Absolutely.
industry.
Yep. Well, hey, we had our big poker tournament on Sunday, our big You Can Bet on That poker tournament. And Mike, I think it went pretty well.
I think it went excellent, Mark.
Yeah.
I have to say, when it ended, I told my wife, that was the best time I've had, other than with my family. That is the best time I've had this year.
Really? So far, yeah. Oh, that's great,
I mean,
Mike.
it was
I'm glad
the
to hear
funnest
that.
thing I've done this year, other than, spending time with my family and stuff. Yeah, by far. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in comments and even afterwards, it was like, hey, guys, thanks for, going all through all the work and putting that on.
Well, thanks to you.
Oh,
I mean, seriously now, everybody, Mark did like all the work. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I read all the emails, which you forwarded to me, and that's basically all I did. Yeah. You did 100% of the work, so, thank you.
Yeah, oh, well, you're welcome. Yeah, it was great. 166 entrants, which is more than, when we're first talking about this, we're thinking, oh, well, maybe we'll get like 30 or 40 people, or, we weren't sure.
We were like, maybe 5 tables. I wonder how long that'll take. As it kept growing, I kept thinking, oh, no, I'm going to be playing poker like all day. It's going to be like 10 hours.
Well, it worked out great because we set it up so that everybody would start with 5,000 in chips, and I think that was perfect. The tournament went just a little over, I think, 4.5 hours, close to 4.5 hours. And I think that's pretty good for 166 people.
That's very good.
We probably would not change the structure at all based on how it went.
Right.
The only thing we might do is add a few breaks here and there, maybe some short breaks,
right?
Just because it is that long. Although, when you're playing online, you can take your laptop to the bathroom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you can also probably go to the bathroom and set out one hand.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
Wait
or
till
even,
you're not
a few
blind,
minutes,
right? I mean,
But I think next time, maybe, 5 minutes here and there, just, because 4.5 hours, that's a fairly good length. Well, think of how long it would take to run that kind of tournament live.
Yeah, it would take a while. Well, I sat in our kitchen. We have a desk in our kitchen off to the side. I sit in there, and then I have 2 daughters, so I get food and drink service constantly, right?
Do you get massages too?
Yeah, I could get that if I ask.
Well, Mike, you did not win the tournament, even though you predicted that you were going to.
Although to be honest, I did say whoever takes me out will win the tournament.
And that is, in fact...
I did say that.
That is, in fact, what happened. Well, let's talk about some of this stuff. So you went out in 86th place, and I went out in 74th place. So about around the halfway mark for both of us there.
Yeah.
It's interesting, Mike, because we each went out with ace-queen.
Right. Well, I was getting short stacked, and I got ace queen, and I thought, okay, I'm going to push in.
So Mike went in with ace queen. When it came down to a showdown, it was you, it was Bad Boy B18, who also went all in.
Yes.
He had pocket queens, and Rev Dave 59, who had both of you covered. He called you, and when it came down to showdown, it turns out Bad Boy had the best hand. The pair of queens held up.
Right.
And then at the end, Rev Dave spiked a 7 on the river. He had ace 7. So you didn't pair up at all. You had ace queen.
Right.
And so you were eliminated. And, on PokerStars, one kind of bad thing about PokerStars, it goes by so fast at the end of a hand.
Oh, God. It just flips to the next hand immediately. You have hardly any time to see what other people had.
You can look at the chat window. It shows kind of the results.
Right.
But again, it goes by so fast. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing, okay, well, Bad Boy took the main pot. So I assume he took you out.
Right.
And so I said, oh, congratulations to Bad Boy. But it turns out that even though you both were all in, Bad Boy had fewer chips than you did.
Okay.
So when his pair of queens beat you, he didn't take all your chips. It was actually Rev Dave who took the remainder of your chips with just his pair of 7s.
Which is what put me out.
Right.
Right.
So technically, Rev Dave was the one who took you out. And certainly that would be the way that it goes in, real tournament play.
Right.
But 2 reasons we're going to give both of them $25 gift cards. Number one, I'd already said, hey, Bad Boy, congratulations for taking Dr. Mike out. But really, when you think about it, they both worked together to take you out.
Right.
Right? Bad Boy took some of your chips.
And
Rev Dave took some of your chips.
That's typical, Mark. It takes 2 people to get me out.
Okay.
Yeah, only one guy got you out. 2 people had to get me out.
So we gave both of them $25 gift cards. So congratulations to both of them. I think that was fair too. And then my elimination, I had ace queen. I was called by Shrewd Judge, who had me covered. I had ace queen. He had ace 6. And sure enough, a 6 on the river.
Yeah.
And so
isn't that funny? We both get taken out by like little
river the ends there.
Yeah.
And, I can't really consider those bad beats. I mean, that's going to happen.
No, of course not.
So Shrewd Judge, a $25 gift card to him as well. But I don't know about you, Mike. I played maybe 4 hands the whole time. I mean, I picked up pots here and there, raising pre-flop and that kind of thing. But actually playing hands, I just wasn't getting anything to play.
No, I really wasn't either. I played so many hands where I just folded, which is, for me unusual, right? But I wasn't getting hands either.
Yeah. So let's talk about who got additional gift cards. So in third place was Gambling D6921. He came in third, so he got a $25 card.
His name is David.
That's correct. In second place was Sly956YCBOT. He was second place. He got a $50 gift card.
Now, his name is Steven, but he said he wouldn't mind being called David.
Oh, okay.
And he said he was going to play like a jackwipe because he had a big lead.
And he did for a while.
And as soon as he said that, it all went downhill. I mean, it was like...
No. When he first started... So the whole conversation was, he said something like, maybe I should start playing like a jackwipe. And we were both goading him on, like, yeah, do it. And he did, and it did pay off, like the first couple of times.
He jumped into a huge lead, and then it just, boom, went downhill.
But then, caught up with him. It was nice that he put the YCBOT in his name, too, for the username.
I like that.
But the winner was Rev Dave, the one who took you out.
Yes, I called it.
Yep, he went all the way and won the entire tournament.
And his name's David. Now, isn't that weird that 2 Davids make the final 3 and a David wins?
It's not really that weird because we've talked about how most of our listeners are named David. So, I think that's
I'm thinking about getting my name legally changed. Seriously, I got to do something this year to turn things around.
Why don't you just change your last name, though? It's too hard to pronounce for most people.
Okay, so, to David, Mike David?
Mike David. Yeah, that's what you should do. Well, there was an interesting hand on the final table. There were only 4 people left in the tournament, and a straight flush lost to a higher straight flush.
Yeah.
The board was 5, 7, 8, 9, Jack of diamonds. And Sly 956 had the 6 of diamonds for a 9 high straight flush. And Gambling D6921 had the 10 of diamonds for a Jack high straight flush. So straight flush over straight flush with only 4 people remaining.
Right. And Mark and I were talking on the phone as people were playing. And when I saw him bet, I said, oh, there's the 10 of diamonds.
Right.
And then we were waiting for the call. And as soon as the call, oh, there's the 6 of diamonds. And sure enough, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, funny how that happens.
Oh, my gosh, to have a straight flush and lose. Now, each of them was only using one of their hole cards to make the straight flush. I mean, the possibility was out there, so it wasn't completely outrageous. And in fact, if this had taken place in a poker room, it probably would not have qualified for their bad beat jackpot, where you have a big hand that still loses, simply because each of the players was only using one hole card. Usually, in order to win that jackpot, you have to be using both of your hole cards to make the hand. So, but still, it was kind of interesting. I'll tell you, Mike, one thing that you and I were thinking of, and some of the players said too, the speed of play was excellent.
Yes.
There was not a lot of waiting on people to either make decisions or being disconnected. It really wasn't. It was
on the
great.
table I was on, I was amazed how fast it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I could barely get in a sandwich between plays. Seriously, they were just boom, 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 boom. It was, and that's great.
Oh, yeah. Well, that helps. 4.5 hours, that's still a long time, but, to go through it. I'd have to say it was a success. We'll probably have to have another one here. I don't know. Maybe make it an annual thing, maybe semi-annual. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Yeah, but, I think annual's too long.
Maybe. We might have to do something else. We might have to do
something a little more frequently. Because it was fun. Yeah. And if people want to, I mean, it is a lot of... I'm talking. You're doing all the work. Let's do it every week, Mark. We could do it a little more frequently.
Yeah, we could. I mean, of course, we could do it just for fun, right? With no prizes or anything, that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there are a lot of people in the group right now, and so we'll mull it over. But we're definitely going to do another one. It was such a hit, I think.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And certainly with everybody, holed up at home, it's kind of a nice diversion too.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice when you have 166 of your friends over to your house during COVID, and you're playing poker with them.
You know what's so funny, Mike? The first table that I was on, the tournament started. I'm looking around the table. 3 members of our weekly home game were on my table.
I know.
There are only 11 of us. who actually have poker stars. 3 of them.
Yeah.
So 4 people from the 11 were on my first table, including me.
Yeah, that was funny. Because for you, I'm playing with, some people I've never met, right? You're playing with guys you talk to every week.
I know. It's like, well, I know what he's doing.
Yeah,
and
right.
I fold.
Right.
Anyway, so watch for another tournament. All right. Well, speaking of poker, some sad news here within the last couple of days. Mike Sexton has died at the age of 72 from cancer. Mike Sexton was a great ambassador for the game. Most people probably know him as one of the commentators on World Poker Tour.
Right.
But he was an excellent poker player and very well regarded by everyone in the game and the public. It's unusual for someone in poker to be as well liked as he was, and it's really a shame to see him go.
Right, in any competition. And I think poker, maybe more than others, you make, I don't want to say enemies, but you have people who dislike you.
Well, there's some big egos, too. That's a lot of part of it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't that way. He had no ego. He was a great guy. I loved listening to him.
Yeah, he had that great Southern voice.
He had that voice that was just so... You know how some voices, like Vince Scully, you just love listening to Vince Scully. I mean, and Mike Sexton of poker was the same. I liked listening to him. I was very sad to hear about that.
So sad news. Yeah, we're very sad to see him go, especially someone as well liked as he
the
was.
poker tour, World Poker Tour won't be the same.
No, it will not be the same without him. Yeah. Well, this last weekend, sort of quietly, the Kentucky Derby took place. We didn't even mention it last episode.
No.
And it is kind of anticlimactic, with it not being when it normally runs and no people there. And, it didn't get a lot of attention like it normally does.
No, well, it's not as much fun without people. Honestly, I mean, I know it's a horse race, but, all the pre-stuff where you see all the women in the big hats and all the people dressed up and everything. None of that.
Well, and usually it's the first leg of the Triple Crown.
Right.
But, this year the Belmont Stakes has already gone off. Anyway, Tiz the Law was the big favorite to win. He went off at 3-5, so he was a really big favorite. But he did not win. It was actually Authentic who won. He was like an 8-1. I don't even want to call him a long shot because I think he was like number 3 in the rankings. Just Tiz the Law was such a huge, heavy favorite.
Right.
And it looked like Tiz the Law was going to catch him. I don't know if you saw
I didn't see it.
You didn't see
it.
But it did look like Tiz the Law was going to kind of overtake him in the stretch there. And no, Authentic held him off. So.
Well, Bob Baffert, as rude as he is, one another.
One another. And I don't know, he's under investigation. And we could go on about a horse race. He bumped into you.
Bumped into me. I don't know.
All right. So anyway, that was the Kentucky Derby. And the Preakness is next. But there's not going to be a Triple Crown winner this year. So,
not this year. Yeah. That's good. I don't want a Triple Crown winner too often.
Well, it was funny. It was quite a while, right? It was from the 70s. And then, we had a couple, not quite in a row, but close to each other here.
Yeah, I don't like it too often. Seriously.
You don't like it. That really makes me angry when there's a Triple Crown winner. Doggone it.
Ruins my month. Jeez. Well, seriously, I don't like when teams or
you want it to be extra special.
Yeah,
is what you're trying to
be extra special. Yeah. Just like the World Series is not extra special if the Yankees are going to win.
Of course
every
not.
Other year,
no.
Right? I want to see different teams win.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Dodgers this year.
What?
I'm just heavily rooting for the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now I understand. Mike's got a plan.
Yeah, I have a plan.
Yeah. Hey, we got an email from listener Mark. I'm going to read it here. He said, my brother-in-law recently had a nice roulette win. He always plays 23, as well as 4 or 5 other numbers, but always 23. He recently played and had 23 come up 4 times in 10 spins, including back-to-back. I know these must be long odds, especially for a particular number, not just any number. By pressing his bet 3 times, of course, he did quite well. Perhaps you can discuss how phenomenal this is on the show. Well, first of all, let's talk about what we mean by, 23 came up 4 times within 10 rolls. Okay, normally if that happens in real life and you catch it, you're not thinking, hey, let's start playing and see how, if 23 comes up within the next 10 rolls. Usually it's rolled once.
Right.
And then when it's rolled again, you're thinking, oh, wow.
That's unusual.
And you start keeping track. But, as soon as it's rolled once, well, then it only has to come up 3 times within the next 9 rolls to be rolled 4 times. Anyway, I just wanted to make things clear here. If you're saying, hey, Starting right now, we're going to look at these spins.
Right.
What are the chances that within the next 10 spins, the number 23 comes up exactly 4 times? No more, no less. Right. Exactly 4 times.
Yeah, and make a special point to mention this is before it's come up
before
once.
It's even come up once. You're just saying right now, we're going to look at these spins. Okay. The chances of 23 coming up exactly 4 times in the next 10 spins on a 00 roulette table, which is probably what he was playing, is about 1 in 12.2 million. So very long odds. That's how I figure it anyway.
Odds,
right.
Right.
So it is phenomenal. But keep in mind, he didn't go to the casino and say, I'm just going to watch 10 spins on the roulette wheel.
Yes.
And, see what comes up. It's over a period of time. So,
once he made that first 23, it went significantly down.
Right, exactly.
That he would make 3 more.
Yeah, right. And you're not even thinking at that time, I wonder if he'll make 3 more within the next 9 rolls.
Right.
You're just watching what happens. So, yes, it is very unusual. But whenever you're talking about long odds on something, you have to be very specific about what you mean. And so that's where the 12.2 million comes in, as if you're, starting from scratch. Yeah.
Yeah. For the sake of making me happy, let's just say it's always 12.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I think, great. That's unbelievable.
All the time, no matter what the number is. Yeah.
12.2 million.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
right.
We're all about making you happy, Dr. Mike. So.
There you go.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to some voicemails. First up is Mr. Lucky.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Mr. Lucky from Southern California, longtime listener. So last night, drove down to Harrah's Rincon. I worked about 2 hours north, met a friend of mine from Austin, Texas, Miss Bobby Buckets, his sister. It's her birthday, her husband, and some friends. Had never been to Harrah's Rincon. I'd heard many stories from You Can Bet on That, the listeners and yourselves. So I decided to go, and they were spending the night. As we walked in, I decided I was going to do this. I walked up to one of the floor personnel there, and I said, hey, I understand there's a Mark and Dr. Mike that come here a lot. Are they here? I'd like to meet them. And they said, no, they're not here. And granted, it was probably 2 in the afternoon. I'd left early on Friday. So then, of course, I had to stir up the pot because that's what I do. And I said, I heard Dr. Mike's really not a good tipper. Is that true? And right when I said that, one stick man and one box man and then the guy I was talking to immediately stopped, and they turn around and go, who did you hear that from? That's not true at all. He's one of the best tippers in this entire resort when he's here. The dealers love it when he comes. So anyway, Dr. Mike, I had to throw that out to you. So back to the story. We go to that bar directly behind the craps tables. We are there for no more than 30 seconds. And one of the 2 security guards, and I guess he was in a suit, not sure if he was head of security or whatever, come up to us and they said, hey guys, we need to cut you guys off. You've been at the pool all afternoon sucking down drinks. And I thought that was kind of odd to hear that term, sucking down drinks, by an executive, but nevertheless, couldn't have been more wrong. We had just gotten to the resort and had not been to the pool. So we kind of argued with them, and so they said, yeah, sorry, you're cut off for an hour. We have a responsibility to watch the patrons to make sure they don't have too much to drink. So we leave the bar. We go to the first roulette table that is not the 000 roulette table. We've got kind of a fun system. We buy in for $200 or $300 each. We get $5 chips. We put them all in the interior of the board. If either of us hit, we take the original investment back, put all the profit out for another spin. We do that, we immediately lose. We buy in again for $200 each, and we always play our regular numbers, but then we ended up playing a number that we never played, which is 36, and I had $20 on 36. Sure enough, 36 comes up. Pay $700. We're pretty excited. At this point, we're still down $40 or $100, sorry. And so we decided to keep going. Well, sure enough, I believe in repeats. I raised the bet to $50 on 36, comes in again, pay $1,750. We're all pretty excited. Well, we decide we're just going to take a shot. I asked the floor person what the max bet is on the inside. He says it's $100 any which way. So you can go $100 straight up on the number, or, the 2 to 1, 17 to 1. But in the middle, it's a $100 max bet. I hand a $100 chip to Bobby Bucket's sister, and I said, I am betting on 31 black. I'm going to put $100 in chips, so I have a stack of chips up there. She puts the 100 on top, which she did. As the ball's spinning, I reach down, I take the $100 chip, and I put it in the middle of my stack of $25 chips. Sure enough, 31 black comes up, right? We're all going crazy, of course, $7,000. Big hit, big hit. They go to count down the money. They see the $100 chip in the middle, and they immediately say, sir, the max bet is $100. And I said, yeah, no, I know. I just asked what the max bet was, and he told me that. And they said, we're only able to pay the $100, and they slid the other $100 back to me. Now, normally I would lose my mind on something like this, but I was really calm, cool, and collected because I had talked to the pit boss behind and asked what the max bet was and made it very clear. And he had actually seen Bobby Bucket's sister place the 100 on top. Didn't really say a word. He comes up, immediately jumps in and goes, no, that's her bet, not his bet. You need to go ahead and pay it. The dealer argues with him, Dr. Mike and Mark. The dealer argues that was my bet. And at that point, I lose it. And I say, I'm here. I'm giving you guys gratuities. This is unbelievable. The pit boss told you to pay it. You need to pay the bet.
And he got cut off there. Mike, we have experienced this before where a floor will come over, make a determination, basically make a ruling that's in the player's favor, and the dealer will argue with the floor in front of the player. We've seen it happen before.
We've seen it, yeah.
And I always think, what is the dealer hoping to do here? I mean, it's going to make the player angry. What do they hope to gain? The floor has made their decision.
Right. Well, they can't get in trouble. If the floor told them pay the bet, they just say, hey, the floor man told me pay the bet.
Now, it could just come down to personality. I know, and I'm kind of like this too. There's some personalities where they've been told something or they think something's a certain way.
Right.
And they just can't help themselves. It's like, well, no, this is the way it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
But honestly, it's just terrible customer service for a dealer to argue with a floor after the floor has made a determination that helps the player.
Right.
So, this is not good.
No, that's not good. But I'm glad that it did get paid, right?
Yes, he did get paid. He got cut off there, but he called back and said that they did pay. Right. So,
good. So that's good. Yeah. Getting cut off at the bar. That is weird.
That is kind of strange, isn't it?
That is very strange.
We saw you out there. Well, we just got here.
Yeah. And they're following people around the casino?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand.
Yeah. No. It really is for security of the person and the casino.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right? Somebody gets really drunk, falls, splits her head open, sues the casino. Yeah. I mean, the casino has to watch out for stuff like that.
Of course.
And they don't want people to get hurt or whatever. So I understand that, but that was weird. Yeah. I mean, they just got the wrong people, or
that's all I can figure is they just looked like somebody who was out the pool carousing.
Right.
All right. Next call.
Hi, guys. This is Kate from New York. Longtime listener, first-time caller. And with the given circumstances, we just thought I'd report in. We're at our local casino, which is a Turning Stone, an Indian-run casino. There's requirements to wear a mask, but no separation from any slot machines. Craps tables are hopping, full, no glass. Blackjack tables are full. So if you're looking to have that normal casino feeling, besides wearing a mask, you should come to Western New York. That's all now. Thanks. Love your show. Bye.
Okay, well, tribal casinos, I think they can kind of make their own rules. That's interesting, though, that they're letting the tables fill up. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they can all make their own rules. Now, you sent me an email today. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So I don't have the details in front of me here, but an executive at Harrah's Southern California resigned when he found out that they were going to be opening up again in late May. And now he's suing them, basically, for opening up again. I mean, he resigned because he was scared,
because
right?
he believed it wasn't safe for employees or customers to be in the casino.
Yeah.
And
so he's suing now.
And he's suing them now. And it came out in the report that 114 people who had COVID reported that they had been to that casino within the 2 weeks prior to being diagnosed with COVID. That's what it said in the article.
Okay.
Now, it also said that doesn't mean they got it there. They don't know where they got it. But when they interviewed those 114 people, they said they had been to the casino within a 2-week period.
Yeah.
So whether they got it there or not, who knows? Yeah. Of those 114, one person did die.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So that's what it said in the article. I thought that was interesting. Now, he'll probably win that lawsuit.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but there's going to be a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah, there's going to, right, exactly. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits. But I read that article. You sent it to me this morning. My wife read it, and we're like, "Oh my God, should we go again?"
Yeah. And we have not been for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So
we've been briefly to get free play.
Yeah, I go up there
in and out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, limiting our exposure, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear from Alex.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Alex from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm calling for 2 reasons. One, to let you know that I've registered for the poker tournament, so I'll be ready to collect my bounties and the $100 for first place.
Sorry.
The second reason for my call is the trip report. I was able to get to Cherokee, North Carolina this past weekend. It's been the first trip in a few months. So I was excited to get there, and that excitement probably cost me more than I wanted to at the craps table. I was just ready to bet on pretty much any and everything, which caused the bankroll to go down pretty quickly, but I enjoyed it. One complaint I do have is there only, 3 per side on the craps table, so it was probably about a 50-minute wait just to get on, waiting for somebody to get off after, they have 6 tables going on Friday night. So during one of the waits, the electronic craps table was open, which I'd never played before. I decided to play it. So of course, I stuck my money in, and then I said, I probably need to wipe it down. So I'm wiping it down. I realized that I bet, I don't know, on who knows what, about $25 because I forgot to, I don't know if there's a way to lock the machine while you're wiping it, or I probably should have wiped it before I stuck my money in. So needless to say, I lost that bet on the next roll. The precautions they're taking are pretty good, so it makes you feel comfortable, temperature checks and constantly wiping down. So I would do it again, even though I lost, because they're doing things right there. So anyways, hope y'all are doing well. Take care, and I'll see y'all on Sunday. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Alex. Harrah's Cherokee, that's the one that had some clusters, or a cluster, at least with the table game dealers with COVID. So glad to hear that I guess everything's okay.
Yeah.
That is kind of a funny story about wiping down the screen and just making a big bet. Wah!
I don't know. I think I would have said something to the pit like, hey, I just wiped it down. I lost $25.
They might do something for you.
Yeah.
If you're not too embarrassed.
Yeah, right. And again, I might not think, what a...
All right, next call.
Hello, gentlemen. This is Jason from Orange County. A little update. The Valley View has craps again. Used to be they had a bubble craps machine for $1 minimum, but they removed that months ago. They just put in a little tiny version, the single person kiosk at $1 minimum with a little bubble in front of you, tiny dice. There's 4 spots. Each one has its own little separate bubble. $1 minimum. The layout's similar to the bubble craps machine, but also has the side bet from the arena craps game, the lucky shooter bet, I think it is. So anyway, I played there for a while and made about $100 off $1 minimum, mainly playing the don'ts and fading numbers. But the good news is that game will let you go as slow as you like, Dr. Mike, and it lets me go as fast as I want. So when I had no 10, no 5, and 6s, 8s, and 9s come out, just press the button and it shoots the dice real quick. So no waiting around if you want to go, and you can take your time if you want to wait. No rush, no timer to beat. So yeah, it was a fun little session, and I'm going to try to play there again. $1 minimum is always very nice. So anyways, I'll see you guys at the Harrah's, or maybe at the Valley View right down the way. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I think we've talked about these machines before. Personal bubble craps machines, where it's
See,
just
now I
you
like
playing
that,
there.
the personal bubble craps. The only downside to that, I think, would be the fact that when you're winning, you're the only one winning, right? The guy next to you might be having terrible rolls.
That's right, yeah.
So it's kind of like, not exactly the same where everyone's excited.
Yeah.
But it is nice. You can go at your own speed.
It's own speed and low minimums and everything. Yeah. We very rarely go to Valley View. I've been there, gosh, now that I think of it, only once.
I've been there only once too. Yeah.
And it's mostly slots. They do have some table games, but they've never had craps. I mean, like a craps table. They had the Electron. So they've never had that at all. So there's never a reason to. It is very close to Harrah's. It's only a few miles away. We pass it right before we get to
it's
Harrah's.
like a mile and a half away, yeah.
So, but I don't think that's going to draw us there. But it's good to know at least there's an option.
Right. Well, and if we went to Harrah's and for some reason there was some problem, we'd go up there and play bubble craps.
That's right. We get up there and the power's out or something like that. Maybe we go over to Valley View.
Well, the thing is, though, you'd be sitting at one bubble. I'd be sitting in another
I know,
bubble.
yeah.
And you know, what if one of us is winning big and the other one's getting wiped out? Yeah.
That is what's nice when you go with a friend. You're usually winning and losing together.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you're both pissed off in the car on the way home, or you're both pretty happy on the way in the car home. Either way, you're getting 12 rolled tacos and a Diet Cherry Coke.
Exactly. I'm trying to think, though, now that you mention it, Mike, if there's ever been a trip home where you've been really happy and I've been really sad.
I don't think so.
No, it's
Mark.
never happened.
I don't think that's ever happened. I think if I win, you usually win too.
I think you're right.
And if you win, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
I think you got it right.
Yeah. I think that's our scenario. Either way, the tacos are good.
They are pretty good. Yeah.
So,
all right, last call.
Hey guys, Brian from Las Vegas. I just wanted to tell you guys, if you do come for the first time, whenever you come for Circa, when you do see it open, you have to come and see me because I just got hired at Circa. Actually driving away from the interview right now, and you guys are actually the first person I told. So come see me. It'll be exciting. I get to see it in a couple days. I get to see the inside, so it's going to be quite a ride, man. All right, you guys take it easy.
All right. Well, congratulations. Hey. Yeah, we'll have to check. You know,
the only problem is we don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, where are you actually going to be working there, Ryan? Is it are you a cook in one of the restaurants?
I hope you're a dealer or a pit boss.
Let us know in what capacity you've actually been hired, and then maybe we'll be able to track you down.
I hope it's general manager is what I'm hoping.
That would be nice. Yeah, what can you do for us, Ryan? We're Mark and Dr. Mike. You call into our show all the time. I was going to say Bear Maulings on Twitter. He also got a job there. We heard about that last month. He's going to be a floor there, so we're definitely going to watch out for him. We've never met him in person before, so yeah, we'll see. No definite plans. I know every episode we say that, but still, we're not sure yet. So.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait till the time comes and then just play it by ear. Boy, I am getting so many offers, Mark.
I know. You say that all the time. I know.
Just this morning, I got like 3 offers from Harrah's, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, $2,500 free play.
Oh, my gosh.
$1,750 either Amazon gift card or free play. I mean, that was this morning, and I'm thinking, gosh, I'd love to go and take advantage of that, but then I'm thinking, do I really want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Well, and there's other circumstances. Being closed for a while now, I'm super busy at work.
Well, of course, sure. There's everything else. Yeah.
I've been working 7 days a week. Yeah. Just so much stuff going on.
So anyway, that's how Dr. Mike's doing.
Yeah, that's it. That's my life in general. That's why I was so happy with the poker tournament. I actually went to work after that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did some paperwork for a few hours last night.
Oh, my gosh. So. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, recurring donations from James and from Kurt. Thanks very much. Also, a donation from John. He says, from John D. and KC for KC's first trip. I assume that's Las Vegas, so good luck to you.
KC.
And also a donation from Jeff from Round Rock, Texas. He says, love the show, guys. Karma donation for our upcoming annual first NFL weekend trip. Much smaller group than usual, but we're still excited to be heading back. So good luck, Jeff. Have fun.
Yeah. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well.
This year, Vegas is going to be, you can't actually go to see the game in person.
Right.
So you might as well go to Vegas.
Right, and see them all.
Yeah, right, exactly.
There you go.
Hey, be sure to check out our TV listing showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings and our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonThat. And on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. What do you got for us, Dr. Mike?
Well, speaking of NFL, the first game is this Thursday.
Yes.
And Kansas City Chiefs are playing. And the only reason that's significant at all to you and I is that our good friend Melanie, her birthday's the day before, and she was going to go to the game.
Right.
But since there's no fans, she's not going to the game.
Yep.
So happy birthday, Melanie. It's a big one for her.
Yep.
So we hope you win some money on KC during the game, even though, KC's not my favorite.
Well, no, you see, the thing is, KC's not our favorite because they were in the same division. Well, they still are in the same division as the Chargers, but we're not Chargers fans anymore.
I guess that's true.
So KC, Denver, we're fine. We still
fine.
hate the Raiders. I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah, that's ingrained. That just goes right through your system. You can't get that out, Mark.
Right.
It's just part of you now, right? The Raiders have a new stadium, which nobody will be.
It's going to be empty. That's terrible, I guess.
Like all the
as
other
Raiders haters, I don't know. There's a certain amount of Schadenfreude there, I think.
But anyway, I'm excited for football, I guess. As excited as I can be.
Yeah.
It really is different without fans.
I know.
We've been watching a ton of baseball.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And even baseball's different without fans.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So hopefully at some point fans will come back. The Padres are on the verge of making the playoffs. I read this morning, 98% chance they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So there's still like a 1% chance we won't.
Sure. I've seen you hit a hard 8 parlay.
Right.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah, you've seen me do it. So there you go. We're hoping that they can come through.
Yeah,
I don't know. That'd be nice for a change.
It would be nice, but it would also, again, we wouldn't be able to go to any of the games.
Right. Let me ask you this, though, Mark. If by chance the Padres make the playoffs and then happen to beat the Dodgers in the National League Championship game and make the World Series and win the World Series for the first time in the history of the franchise, will 2020 be a good year or a bad year?
Wow. I did not expect that question. Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you, even though people are probably horrified, I don't know the answer to that question.
I know, man. It's a poser, isn't it?
It really is.
It'd be rough to say. I mean, you'd be like, this is the greatest sports moment of my life. Is this a good year?
All right. Well, in a way now I'm hoping I don't have to decide.
No, I do. I hope I have that decision.
Okay, I guess I
would
do
love
too.
to have that decision to make. And when that happens, Judge Dave, I'm going to announce my claim whether a good year or bad year for 2020.
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to that, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Oh, sweet mother, I love you, Dr. Mike.